Good morning and welcome to June. Holy cow. Another great week of sales conversations, both in the Salesvault and in the Slack community. And let me share three things with you that were dominant and prominent and some other eminence. Number one, people saying, I made 0 sales calls again yesterday. I made 0 sales calls. And this is very common. I get it. There's other stuff to do and we get distracted and we have no setup, we have no preparation. But let me tell you a quick story on this one, and I'll give you the truncated version. There was a former coaching client that called me years ago, and he was just checking in and he was just telling me how well things were going. And he said, oh, here's something you might find interesting, Bill. He said, I've promised my 2 young sons that if Daddy makes 2 extra sales calls every day for the month of February, I will buy the family a Wii entertainment system. He said, so every day I come home and the boys run to the door and they say, Daddy, did you make your calls? He said, I must admit, there's times that I'm about to leave the office and I say, oh, I can't lie to those little faces. And I sit and I make my 2 extra calls. He said, they have held me accountable. And I remember getting off the phone and going to bed that night, and I shot up in the middle of the night and said, oh my God, accountability. And I created an entire program just around that concept and that story. And I encourage you to create sales activity goals and then have someone hold you accountable. I've got a coaching client right now, and I think we're in week 3 maybe of this, and you can already see the wheel starting to turn. It's creating some great habits. So that's number one. It's a great way to get out of that whole I'm not making any calls thing. Excuse me. The second one is people are saying, I really feel like I'm the only one struggling. And I get this on a business and personal level. I play golf with friends and, oh, their life is wonderful. I'm thinking, oh man, what are they doing? And it's all baloney. A lot of it is just bravado and BS. Everybody's struggling. There was a line in the movie Phenomenon, where John Travolta's character is talking to Forrest Whitaker and he says, I'm sorry, Nate, I'm going through something. And Forrest Whitaker's character says, everybody's going through something. And I think that's one of the things you have to realize as you get older. Everybody is going through something. You are not the only one struggling in the sales department. I mean, look at the crazy stock market and uncertainty and fear and the paper shortages, the labor shortages. There's so much bad news out there. You can sell your way out of this. I want you to focus on just one thing. Do your job. Get prepared, make sales activity goals, and then hit them on a regular basis. These are the things that you can control, and you need to control the things that you can control, and that's it. Let everything else go. I know how hard it is. The second thing I'll tell you is you need a sales community, whether it's mine, whether it's the Salesvault, whether it's the Slack sales community, whether it's your regional print affiliate. I think you just absolutely would benefit. We would all benefit from having that group that we can go to and say, what's going on with you? And then you realize, I'm normal. In fact, I think I'm better than others. I think I'm doing better than others. Not I am better, but I'm doing better than others. And they're not struggling as much. And I think I'm ahead of the game. It's very rewarding. And you can also find, if you find the right community, it's something that you can contribute to as well. The third thing that we talked about was simply reading. My wife sent me this great article about the work week, and it was talking in part about the value of just taking an hour a week and just dedicate it to reading. And I got to tell you, I would got books in the background here. I would love to do more reading. We would all love to do more reading. But first of all, I just don't have the time. And second, I'm not sure what to read. Well, I can carve out the time, number one. But the other one is in terms of what to read. There's a link on the website. If you go to Salesvault.pro, there's a link that has, I think it's a dozen different books. And these are not boring business books. These are fascinating reads that will help you with your sales. These are human behavior types of books. They're not, selling 101 or selling for dummies books. You don't need me to tell you what to read those things. But these are books that I read again and again and again. And I've just started the practice of setting aside 1 hour a week and really sticking to it. And every time it's funny because I'll be reading, I'll say, oh, I can't wait to finish this hour so I can apply this information. It's just absolutely outstanding. Great little practice to get into, and I'm glad that my wife sent me that article. So that's it for this week. Please join us on Tuesday for sales best practices, especially if you think you're the only one struggling, because this is where sales reps come and share information on what they're doing on things like prospecting and motivating and marketing and selling digital and all kinds of sales issues. We all share our best practices. That's Tuesday the 7th of June at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You need to be a Salesvault member. I encourage you to try it for a month. The Slack community is free, and you can join that as well, and you can just kind of taste what it's like to be in a sales community. As always, I'm available to you if you need my help. Have a great selling week, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Whew! Did I even breathe in that?